Do you think you could kill for the common good? Do you think that with the proper training you could become a national hero? Do you think that watching a YouTube video is enough to find out about all the weaknesses of a mysterious monster? Unfortunately, I think you are mistaken. In the vast universe of YouTube, you can find many videos on how to defeat the teacher. I will analyze the content of one YouTube channel who assures their audience that with their advice, you will come out on top. I will show you how ridiculous and shallow their ideas are and explain why they don't work. After all, Koro-sensei has the nickname Unkillable Teacher for a reason. Let's get started. The video claims that the teacher could have been beaten at the start of the movie, during roll call. The video claims that if instead of shooting chaotically from their desks, the students had moved to the back of the classroom and shot directly in front of them, then their teacher would have nowhere to go and would be killed. Complete nonsense. This theory doesn't hold up. The teacher can hide on the ceiling to avoid the shots, as we see later in the film. The video also claims that if he isn't shot, he will have no choice but to run out the door. They suggest planting an explosive on the door, similar to the one Nagisa used against him. They missed one important detail. There are huge panoramic windows on the left side of the classroom. Korosensei can easily escape through the window, so the door approach is also flawed. Have they even watched the film? It's impossible not to notice them. Let's assume that he does exit the classroom via the door, where the bomb will be. Even if the pupils add a substance that can harm the teacher to the explosives, he will remain unscathed. Here's why. Nagisa used something like a grenade to try to kill him. The fragments of a grenade, when it explodes, move at a maximum speed of 236,220 feet per minute. But wait, there's no running away from that. There's no way. Unless the teacher has super speed, he will surely die. Guess what? He does have super speed. Korosensei can move faster than 20 Mach. 1 Mach is 65,551 feet per minute. Multiplied by 20, that's 1,299,213 feet per minute, which exceeds the speed of the grenade fragments by almost 6 times. 6 times, Carl. That's right. Korosensei will even have time to read a few magazines by the time the explosion is over. This is obvious. How did the person who made this video not think of it? The next point the video makes is that Korosensei has a weakness for the ladies. Or as one pupil says, Korosensei also likes big tits. At one point in the film, the students lure the teacher into a net with a trail of pages from an erotic magazine. Now the teacher is helpless. The video suggests the following. While he was stuck in the net, the students should have injected him with a poisonous substance. Not a bad idea, just a shame it's so unrealistic. First of all, his kryptonite does not exist in liquid form. That was never mentioned in the film. To assume it exists and then build theories around it is nothing more than stupid and meaningless speculation. Secondly, they would have once again forgotten about how fast the teacher is. The school children would have no time to catch up with him. He would already be long gone. The fact that they managed to run up to him in the movie just goes to show that the sensei was fooling around, giving them false hope of success and nothing more. The next great idea, not in the video, is to poison the teacher by crushing up this harmful substance and putting it into his food. And where did they get the idea that the sensei eats at all? Is this shown in the film? Korosensei is not seen eating at any point throughout the film. He drinks the poison prepared for him by a student once, and only then because she honestly admitted to it. The sensei will likely not want to try the food the kids have prepared for him, especially knowing that it could kill him at any moment. Another piece of advice worthy of being thrown in the trash. The video says that when the teacher drank the poison and was momentarily weakened, he could have easily been killed with a headshot. We should remember that the students were frightened by the sensei's reaction and could not predict what would happen. They backed away to a safe distance and waited to see what would happen. None of them could think about shooting him at that moment. Let's be honest here. This was already the second half of the film. The students have already spent a lot of time with Koro-sensei. He bonded with them, and in turn, they fell in love with him. I would assume by this point, none of them even thought about shooting their teacher, as none of them wished him dead. The plot of the film makes this clear. To ignore it is foolish. The next stupid piece of advice is to plant explosives all around the school. While one of the students distracts the teacher, the others can evacuate before blowing up the building with the teacher and student inside. What a brilliant plan! What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing! They seem to have forgotten that the teacher is not vulnerable to ordinary explosions, only to explosions containing the special substance. Even if the students were able to plant the explosives that could kill the sensei all over the school, the operation is so large that it is impossible for the teacher to not notice that they were up to something. Not to mention, what kind of student will be willing to sacrifice themselves? I'm sure that none of them will be foolish enough for that. The video offers absurd advice, devoid of logic. The video also suggests blowing up the school with all the teachers and students inside. Apparently, the government can build a bomb and drop it on the class while they are hard at work. Maybe they could blow up the whole of Japan in one go, or better yet, the entire planet. Then the sensei will be defeated for sure. How ridiculous. Why even bother thinking about what might happen? They might build a bomb. They might not. Maybe fuck yourself? Let's say they make the bomb. Although no such thing is mentioned in the film, they would have to fly over the school to drop this huge bomb. Surely the sensei would notice something. We know that the teacher can move faster than the speed of sound. This whole idea sounds like a scene cut from the X-Men Days of Future Past. Just like it, Korosensei would jump out of the building in slow motion with his arms wrapped around his students. It would be a great scene. The video suggests that Korosensei should be sent to work as a prison guard and not a school teacher. Maybe the inmates could deal with him. This is crazy. Are you serious? Sent? You mean force him? Against his will? How can you force a being capable of destroying the entire planet to do something that he does not want to do? What in heaven's name are you talking about? I have a serious question for this guy. Did you even watch the movie? It is clearly stated that Sensei himself volunteered to teach third class. He would not agree to any other position. Before you give your opinion, perhaps watch the film to avoid looking stupid and giving bad advice. The video claims that when Karma jumps off the cliff in an attempt to make the teacher jump after him, there was a chance to beat him. It suggests using a suit like the one Sensei used with Itona, the new tentacle-headed student. Apparently, in this scenario, the teacher would not be able to save the student safely, but he could. All Koro-sensei had to do was take off his coat and wrap it around the student. That's all. Nothing to worry about. Anyway, where would Karma even get such a suit? Maybe there is only one of these suits. We don't know. Another crazy piece of advice. The next tip is to replace the robot, who has come to class as a new student, with a combat drone loaded with bullets capable of killing the teacher. The combat drone can fly and move around with ease. They say Koro-sensei won't have a chance. It seems the guy behind this video has ran out of original ideas. What's the point? We have already said countless times that shooting at Sensei is a waste of time. Why bother spending time, effort, and money on this? How do you expect a combat drone to beat the teacher if all of the military might in the world cannot defeat him? A ridiculous idea. Then the video suggests killing the teacher during his fight with Itona. There are several facts the video does not take into account. First, the teacher doesn't fight with all of his strength against the newcomer. As we can see, he doesn't use his super speed or attack at full strength. Why? Because Itona is his new student. From this point on, Koro-sensei has his back. He takes it easy on him in the fight to make sure he doesn't hurt him. Even if the other students had opened fire, they would not have killed the teacher. All they would do is put their new classmate at risk. It should be clear by this point that the teacher cares for his students and would not harm them. Please pay more attention when you watch movies. Now for another idea from the video, keep the teacher under surveillance. Sure, studying his weaknesses could be useful, but it's not so simple. How can you keep tabs on a creature that can move at 20 times the speed of sound and is able to fly? It's impossible. No student could follow him. No student nor drone could do it. Another stupid idea. How could you suggest such a thing? It's like trying to keep up with Flash. It's just unrealistic. How can you watch the film and then come up with such flawed analysis? I understand that these tips need to be taken with a pinch of salt, since we are talking about an inconceivable flying yellow octopus-like creature, but this is just absurd. You can't just ignore the canon and forget about the teacher's abilities, as well as the situation in the wider universe of the movie. Besides, throughout the course of the movie, you can see that the students slowly become attached to their teacher. The task of killing him turned into more of a game than anything real, as none of them actually wanted him dead. At the end of the day, they love him. He took the worst performing class in the school and turned them into one of the best, both in terms of their studies and their ability as killers. Therefore, at points where it may have been possible to kill Sensei, they didn't. They no longer wanted to kill him. The students' tears at the end of this movie shows this. The only thing this video gets right is that they don't need to kill the teacher to save the world. They just need to talk to him, learn about his past and his reasons for wanting to destroy the planet. Koro-sensei is very open and trusting, especially with his students. Sooner or later, he would say something that would help the students convince him not to destroy the world. In the end, we all need love, Koro-sensei included. He loved his students and was willing to sacrifice himself for them. The students felt the warmth of their unusual teacher and loved him back. Not every battle can be won with bombs and guns. Sometimes you need to resort to a more universal weapon, hugs. That's all for today. If you have any thoughts on how it could be possible to defeat Koro-sensei from Assassination Classroom, write them in the comments. Goodbye for now. Good luck, everyone. Love to you all.